I'm happy to start again making the videos, sharing with you. We have a very special Shabbat, Shabbat Chazon, and we start a new book of the Torah, the book of Devarim. The holy Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, Nishmato Eden, said that on Shabbat Chazon, what does Chazon mean? Chazon means vision. We're shown a vision of what? Of the third Bet Hamikdash. But this vision is from far. It's not near yet. And this is the whole idea of this Shabbat upcoming Chazon. Now, it's interesting that we always read Parshat Devarim on this Shabbat. So what is the connection? Why they always go together? So, Parshat Devarim opens Mishneh Torah, the fifth book of the Torah, and it's different from the other books, even though the whole Torah is one unit, because this book is told to the generation that are entering the land of Israel. It's a preparation for them to enter, while the first four are said to the Dor HaMidbar, the generation that was in the desert that came out of Egypt. So we understand that this is specific instructions, the fifth book of the Torah, to those who are entering Israel, and there is warnings and instructions on how to accomplish that. Now, what is the difference between the two generations? The Dor HaMidbar, the generation that were in the desert, it's called Dor De'ah, a generation of knowledge. What does it mean? There were people in a very high level, like Moshe Rabbeinu, that he had Reya, he saw godliness. They had amazing revelations of Hashem. The generation entering Israel was more physical. They were more involved in the Gashmiut, in the physical aspects of the world, because they lack this vision of godliness. By them, the relationship with God was Shmiya, which means hearing, listening. As it's written, Vata Israel Shema, Israel listen to Hashem. What is the difference between seeing and listening? When you see something, it's unlimited. What does it mean? If I saw something, nobody can convince me of otherwise. I saw it with my own eyes. But if I heard something, this person said A, the other person said B, I could change my mind, because after all, it's only something that I heard. Therefore, it's possible to have speikot, to have doubts on what I heard, but on something that I saw, I'm certain, becomes part of me forever, and there is a special strength, no limits. Now, Mishneh Torah, the fifth book of the Torah, is told to those who are entering Israel that they only have the relationship with God of the level of listening, and they have to be warned about the importance of Mesirut Nefesh, the self-sacrifice, that you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself, while the generation of the desert, there was no need for that, because by then it was so clear that this is the way. You connect with God, even if you have to sacrifice yourself, there is no other way around it. So, nevertheless, even though that the generation of the desert were in such a high level, which one actually went and entered Israel? The older generation. Those who only listen, as is written in the Torah, because you are not coming until now to the rest and to inheritance, which means entering Israel and inheriting Shiloh and Jerusalem. this was something that they couldn't do. Why? Why those people that were Dordeah, the generation of the high level of knowledge, we said like Moshe Rabbeinu, that they saw godliness, why they couldn't enter? Because those who were in a lower level, that were more into the physical, they have the opportunity to inherit the land, to fulfill God's will with the land of Israel. So we find that in Shabbat Chazon, Shabbat Dvarim, there is two opposite ideas. In one hand, it's a very big descent. The new generation is much lower level, but only because there is this descent that went down, there is the possibility to the true elevation. And this is also in Shabbat Chazon. In one hand, we always read it on the saddest time of the year, the 9 days, just before Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the year. But on the other hand, we already have a vision of the third Bet HaMikdash. We already, like Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Berdichev said, that we are shown the third Bet HaMikdash, that they will be higher and better than the ones before. Thank you very much for joining me in learning. Looking forward to learning tonight together at 8:30. Have a blessed day.